And welcome to Will to Win, where we talk about the champions and the championship DNA. And now we're giving you our top 10 running backs of all time in honor of the running back position that's been getting a little, it's been getting a little light on the pockets lately on the running back. So I wanted to show the running back some love and give you my top 10 of all times. And these running backs that I'm about to show something special in a different way. And this is one of those things that's opinionated to me because it's hard to say. Because some running backs get put on better positions than others. Some get better teams than others. So this is all calculated into this. It ain't like I'm just saying this running back got this many. How I do in basketball, because this is more like a team sport. A lot of people they're depending on 21 other people to get some of these accomplishments some of these other running backs got. So that's why you might not see some running backs with more prestige on my list, or if they are on my list, they're probably not high as you might like. But these are just my personal who I seen throughout the years that just amazed at me. And most of the running backs got a certain amount of yardage. And I want to say sorry to Adrian Peterson and Beast Mode for not making this list. It was hard for me not to put them on there to skip over somebody, but special thanks to both of those guys. I love them guys for real. But let me go ahead and give you mine. I'm going to start off with number 10 at Frank Gore. And Frank Gore was just one of those beasts. He's just one of them people I feel like just was bred to play running back. He was just like running through. I mean, even on the video games, it was hard. It was hard to tackle him on the video game. So Frank Gore was definitely a beast. Like he definitely earned his keep in this league, and I think he plays one of the hardest people to tackle. He's running through the line with force, no question. 1,600 yards. He was just a problem out there. And I don't know too many people who wouldn't take Frank Gore in his prime on their team and tell me they don't have a great chance to win them some ball games. And I mean, like I said, the running back position, they getting hit so many times. Like, I mean, hey man, maybe on the back end they should get paid more then. If they getting hit more, if you're using all that logic to why they should get paid, maybe you should use some of that logic to maybe they should get more benefits on the health benefits or something, because they be getting rocked. And players like Frank Gore runs in there full steam. Number 9, I'm going with my boy Jamal Lewis. Jamal was just a beast. I mean, he was just a beast. Him and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, they was just a problem. I mean, Jamal was just running through guys, no problem. And he's another one of those thrashers through the line. What was just like, you really didn't want to tackle him. It felt like he was hitting you. I mean, and they were just so crunk. Jamal, I don't know. I don't even think Jamal would have went for what he's talking about right now. That's how much he was a problem. He's running through people. So I definitely see Jamal as one of those guys that's like, I mean, his total yards wasn't as high as I thought, but he did it. He did it in big moments. He got 10,607 yards total, but he did his things when it counted. He showed up biggest. So shout outs to Jamal Lewis. Had to put some Be More Love up there. My number 8 It's the boy Shady, man. Yo, man, Shady had the moves, man. He had the quickest feet. Like, Shady, his pop pop was real fast, man. Like, I used to love Shady's feet. Love his footwork, man. I remember me and my brother being there watching the game. Like, who? Because I remember when he first came in, I was like, who is this kid spinning like Barry Sanders? Like, he had some of the most explosive moves. So I feel like, Shady's another guy where his stats, he's not up here for his stats, even though his yards is good. He got 11,102 rushing yards. I mean, that's damn good. But why Shady's up here? Because he's a difference maker. He won a lot of help, a lot of big time programs, win Super Bowls. The Chiefs helped Bills out. They didn't win, but he helped them develop a little bit over there. The Bucks. Shady's quick footed. He goes to the line. It was just nice to watch. He was graceful with the ball. He's one of the most graceful running backs we had in the game, and that's why Shady made the list. Cause Shady, his movement, his footwork was just incredible to me. So shout outs to Shady and the Philly boys. My number 7 guy is the Bus, the Big Bus. He going with 1,300 yards, 662, all ground and pound. And when I talk about when he did it, it was like you felt like a lineman was getting the ball. It wasn't even like the Bus was a running back. Let's just be honest. 5'11", 252. He felt bigger than that. He wasn't like a. It basically would be, in my opinion, it would be like almost just turning Aaron Donald into a running back. That's how I think about the Bus. It's like, yo, this Joker is just too big, yo. Like, he's just running through people. And then his name, it shoots itself. It's like, who you going up against today? Oh, we going up against the Bus. Like, the Bus is the reason why they invented the truck stick on Madden. He probably got the patent for it. It was like, oh, he did that today? We got to figure out a way to put that shit in the game. And I don't know if that's true, but he could be. He really was rocking people. It was hard to take that boy down. And then, like I said, he did in the big moments too. He won them boys the Super Bowl. I remember that, and I was just like, the Bus is just using straight willpower to get through here. So shout out to the Bus, man, for doing your thing in Pittsburgh. Number 6, I gotta go with my boy Edward James. He got 1,246 yards. And like I said, it's not up here for the yards, it's the way he did it. He's another one I just love the way he moved. And you're gonna notice through this, I like a certain style. Like, I like the hard-nosed thrashers and the guys with the quick feet. And Edward had the quick feet, and Edward could catch really good. And it's like him and Peyton Manning, they did their thing. And I feel like he helped. I mean, Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning. He did his thing, but it was times when that running game, led by this beast right here with the dreads and the gold teeth, and he was just out there just shining. I'm talking about them all white feet was just running fast, boy. Like, you couldn't. I used to love Edward James. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Ed was like, he was that dude. So Edward, he didn't get one. Or did he get one? I think he did get one. I gotta look that up. Let me look that up. Is this it up here? I'm gonna get back to that in the comments, so just look down below. I gotta take it up, but I believe he got one with him and Peyton Manning that year. But Ed definitely did his thing. Shout out for the coach. Number 5, we going Eric Dickerson. Yeah, 13,000 rushing yards. 6'3", 220 pounds, 6-time Pro Bowler. I'm going to give Eric Dickerson the father of the straight up runner. Cause you know how most running backs, when you coming up, they was taught to get low. You know how to hold the ball, and there's always those certain running backs that come along and just run straight up. And Eric Dickerson was one of the fastest guys that height doing it. What he did was running straight up, and that's hard to do because it's easy to tackle people that way. So you got to really be talented. And him, Adrian Peterson, what's the boy used to play for Pittsburgh? He used to run straight up. I forgot his name right now, but there's a few guys in the league that runs the same style now, and it's off from Eric Dickerson, to be honest, because he was the first person running out there like it was a track meet. So Eric Dickerson made my number 5, and like I said, this wasn't all about stats, just like my personal running backs who I had a high respect for. Emmitt Smith came in number 4. And Emmitt Smith was just a problem. Those boys and that these are the standards that are set today, where Cowboy fans feel like they must win Super Bowls because of this guy right here, him, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, beast mode team, and he's gonna be on a lot of people's number 1. Let's just be honest. It's Emmitt Smith, and deservedly so. Just for me, that team was so stacked. But he did his part though. Don't get twisted. Like he got over, I think Emmitt got over like 1,800 rushing yards. Like Emmitt's leading the league in rushing yards. He might be at 2,000. He did his thing. So Emmitt, I didn't want to, but his style of running, like I said, like I like the flashier. Emmitt wasn't really flashy. He just got the job done. He was just dependable. I'm gonna get the job done. I'm gonna go through this line. I'm gonna follow these blocks. He knew how to follow that hole and get through the hole. He was a great typical running back that did his thing, and I got nothing but love for him. And it's definitely gonna be some people hating on that big. For my number 3, I had to go with Jim Brown. And Jim Brown is going to be on a lot of people's number 1, too. And it was hard for me to even get him down this low. Not because of what he did on the field, because he's just such a great man all the way around. What he did for the coach, what he did for black people all the way around was just ridiculous. And human beings in general, he just fought for justice. So I love me some Jim Brown. Definitely happy Jim is getting notoriety for the running backs, the great running back he was, and he did so many other things in movies. He was a good actor. I mean, he was one of my favorite movies. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker when I was growing up. So I definitely feel like Jim Brown was just he was just a whole movement. Like he was a culture. He was like a phenomenon. Jim Brown definitely gonna be on somebody number 1. And it ain't about no yards. He just was a terrific runner. I mean, he was meaner. He was just a mean guy on that field. You was not about to tackle Jim Brown, man. You talking about broken tackles. That man gonna break some tackles. Like, I mean, it almost felt like Jim was running for every black person to ever touch the field. So nothing but love for Jim Brown. My number 2, Sweetness. I had to go with Sweetness. It was hard not to put Sweetness at number 1. He meant so much for the game. I mean, Sweetness might be one of the most watched and studied running backs in the game. He was a mixture of power and speed and agility, and he just ran with passion every time. This is the running back era that was so great. And it's running backs like this that paved the way that for the running backs today to make them want to take the licks that they do take. That's why I feel like they should get the money. They should get paid a little bit better than they get paid. I mean, I'm not saying you got to make them get paid like that. the quarterbacks for the quarterbacks or the defensive ends or the defensive tackle. I'm just saying, just pay them a fair wage for what they do and what they sacrifice for their bodies. For this guy right here, Walter Payton, though, man, I love him. He's just one of those guys. Like I said, he did a lot for the sport, for the culture. He was sweetness. When he was, I mean, like it was hard not to put sweetness in number one. Let's be honest, it was hard. But Barry Sanders, for me, over 1,500 yards, man, 10-time Pro Bowler. But yo, man, this guy, he moves. Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders, I'm never gonna forget. When I think about Barry Sanders, I think about Thanksgiving. Because Detroit Lions would be on TV during Thanksgiving. And Barry would just spin off as many people as he could that day. Like he was on the Jackson 5 with Michael Jackson. He was just spinning. And Barry was, and then he was big and fast and strong and agile. It was just like, man, it was impossible. It could be three defensive players 5 yards back in the backfield. I'm talking about back in the day when they was hitting, when they was knocking the blocks off. And Barry was still that guy finding a way. And that's why I had to put Barry at number one, man. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. Because he didn't win as much as a lot of the other guys. But when I tell you, this man here, I watched football. Like, it was a point where I feel like if your name was Sanders, I know what you was going to do. If your last name was Sanders, I knew what you was going to do. If your name was Barry or Dion, if you Sanders, I knew what you was going to do. If you was Jackson, I knew what you was going to do. It was like certain days back in the day in the 90s, I just knew what you was going to do. And this dude, Barry Sanders, unstoppable. Well, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure you stay tapped in. More importantly, make sure you stay blessed.